So today we're going to start my Badgers Dynasty. Very random, being as that college football 26 is less than a month away. However, I have been wanting to do this for a while, and I'm going to do it even though launch is not too far away. So obviously, if we look in the past few years, Wisconsin has not been great, and even in real life in 2024, they did not do that great either. Back when they had players like Jonathan Taylor, James White, Melvin Gordon, Monte Ball, they were pretty relevant and consistent. They won the Big Ten a couple times. Uh, they won some bowl games. Notoriously in 2017, they failed to clinch a college football playoff spot by losing to Ohio State in the Big Ten championship. So now we're going to try and get them to the college football playoffs. Let's start from the top. Let's start by setting up the recruiting board. Um, so, as a whole, what I like to do is I honestly like to build my team to be sound in the run game. So, we're going to really eye up some running backs and some offensive linemen. Probably will look at quarterback. I know Wisconsin doesn't really have anything in terms of quarterbacks past um, this year. So we're going to really invest in some time into this. So I'm going to start by going position to position based on what the recommended players on the board, and I'm going to filter it through interest. So here we go. I'm not really keen on maybe getting a scrambler. An improviser tendency would be pretty good here. Um, Maybe go for the field general mainly because I want him to be able to run the play action pass. I don't need a guy that can scramble a lot. But we're gonna look at Steve Banks and Giovanni Stack to start. Um, those will be two of the quarterbacks. Running back wise, Tawi Walker's a senior, so definitely gonna have to invest here into the future. Probably going to have to get two running backs in to be safe. And right now we have two that are very interested in us in the first. But I'm eyeing up this guy here. He is a power back, so it is a bit of a change. The only problem is that he's not one of my pipelines. So I have a power back and a receiving back from Wisconsin. Um, I'm gonna invest in these two. I'm also gonna bring in Baum. I want to see what he looks like. Fullback wise, we don't really need one yet. Receiver, we don't need it, but I'm going to look for it. I think actually a route runner is perfect. Maybe a physical receiver like Gator here. He looks like he could be interesting. 6'4", 214. We got a 6'5", 216 receiver here from Michigan. So if I want to invest and look into these two. I'll bring in Jalen Rhodes as well. Tight end wise, I know we need a tight end. Just looking, I like to use my tight ends, but I don't really feature them in my offense. So going for a blocking tight end is not the bad move here. I'm going to go for him. And as soon as I see this, I'm first interest into the number 8 player in the class. He is left tackle. He is from Wisconsin, so this is perfect. I'm going to go for him. And I also have some invested interest in a right tackle from Michigan, so I'm going to also put some into him. Let's look around here. Guard, I need guard. We don't really have any guys who are like, hey, we want to be in Wisconsin, but we do have some. We are ninth and 10th in interest in some of these guys. I want a power guy, and I do want an agile guy. But if I want to be power, I'll probably go for power here. So I'm going to go for the ninth here, this guy here, and then I'm going to go for, where is he? I saw him. We'll just go two right guards. We can always change one to left guard if needed. We don't need a center, so I'm not really going to invest in anything we don't need. Here we go, right end and left end. We need them. I'm going to put one in this 54th ranked player. And then I'm also going to go a little bit down the list, maybe. Like right here to this guy. He's ranked 501. He's a 3-star. But he's from Wisconsin. We could probably get him in. I don't know what he's at yet. We'll just go through these real quick. And I will be more in tune with what we're looking at when we go and put some scouting on these guys. Ooh, here we go. There we go, 13th rank. So we got 18 right now. I don't really like maxing out my targets right out the gate. So this isn't bad. I'm just gonna kind of generically take some guys here. Run stopper, pass coverage. I want pass coverage in my linebackers. A field general wouldn't be bad. We don't really have any on the pipeline, which is kind of meh. Could just go for a run stop or two. Okay. And we got some pretty good safety or corners here. I'm just gonna rack up some of the higher end corners and see what we get from them. Safety, the 29th ranked in the class. Strong safety, Alcantara could be interesting. And I believe we don't need kicker or punter. And that. Okay, so we have 26 of our 35 targets. Now let's go and let's see what we can get out of the scouting. I'm going to immediately recruit those who are diamonds. So Steve Banks out the gate, not what we're looking for. But I'm hoping Giovanni Stack turns out to be a diamond. He's not. Okay. So if that's the case, I still want a field general quarterback. Let's take this guy, and we might as well look up Kism here. And then I'm going to take these two. I want to scout these guys and see what they're at. So this one's not even he's neither a diamond or a non-diamond. And same with this guy. I'm going to look at the best, we got the best available here. So under pressure, Daly definitely is better. However, Kism is faster, which I said I really didn't care if I had a fast quarterback or not. I'm really looking at the throwing comparison. And Daly does kind of edge Kism here, mainly because of his under pressure. But winning time, road dog, field general, magician, off platform. We might have to go to Kism here just because I feel like, yeah, Daly could have better stats, but Kism overall is the better prospect here. So I'm going to get rid of Steve Banks and Stack. We'll keep Daly here just in case. So now, let's scout some running backs. Let's see what we get. This could be interesting. So we got a diamond right here. So he's not a fast running back. Obviously, he's a power back. But he's a very powerful running back. He's got head first, downhill, balance, the natural and fan favorite for his mentals. So I definitely want to put something into him. I'm going to offer him a scholarship. And then scout this guy. Because I did say I want 2 running backs if possible. And he is not that great. So we're going to get rid of him off the list. And we're now look at Baum, another power back. Possibly another diamond here. And what do you know, another diamond. And he's a faster diamond. He's definitely a faster running back than Mallory. No, he's not. They're the same speed. I didn't even notice that. I didn't even look at that. So they're both the same speed. I want to bring them both in if I can. Let's go receivers now. Nothing too fancy with Gator here. Let's look at Lloyd. You know, Lloyd isn't a diamond, but he's actually pretty well-rounded. Unlike Gator, who is more of a doesn't really. I mean, he's more of a speed guy, so he's lower catching. But Lloyd looks like he's going to have a very good ability to catch the football, especially in crunch time. So I'm going to actually get rid of Gator here, and I'm going to offer Lloyd a scholarship. Okay. And this guy is a route runner. He doesn't really have the speed. No, I mean, he doesn't really have what I'm looking for. I wasn't gonna bring in more than one. So for right now, we're just gonna go with Lloyd. Thielen for tight end. His ability to block is kind of meh. He's a little strong. I am gonna bring him in regardless. Now let's look at Hendricks here. Left tackle, nationally ranked 8. Very good, 94 strength. Gonna offer him a scholarship, obviously. Normally 5 stars. I will not avoid offering scholarships because in the long run they are worth it. So here we go. Now we're to the guards. 94 strength. I'm looking at that strength because the abilities themselves or the numbers themselves can improve. So if their strength is high, I'm not going to waver against offering them a scholarship. So now we're on the ends. Okay. I don't like him. Easy actually looks pretty good for being a 3-star. His tackle could use some work, but he has the strength and the hit power and the acceleration. He's a little slower, but he's faster than what we got on the team currently, so I'm not against that. Oops. So now we're going to DT. I want to get a run stopper in here that can be good. And yeah, Monk looks pretty good. Um, let's look. Bring another one in. As long as they're not terrible, I'm not going to waver against just offering someone a scholarship. It's really hit or miss. Um, Obviously, the players themselves can get better with time, so I'm not gonna just hold that against them. Now here we're gonna have a decision to make. I'm not gonna bring in 2 linebackers, and that decision is already made for me. Oops. I'm gonna recruit this guy. Now we got Damian Office. He's not great. Keep double clicking. I'm gonna run out of time here. I kind of like his speed on the outside. I'm gonna maybe have him as a perimeter guy. I should have enough time here to look through all of these. He's not great. Zone coverage 79. Speed and acceleration is pretty good. Jumping, play rack. Play rack's a little low, but that's okay. We'll bring him anyways. Then we got this last 4-star. And he's not great. Okay, so we're going to start with these 18 prospects. And about week 6, I'll probably look at adding some more. But for now, this is going to be who we got. I might as well give Jeff Daly a scholarship and see what we could do with that. All right, so now let's move on to the next area of business. That is a schedule. I'm going to play the schedule, so there's nothing I can really do there. The next thing I want to do is I want to look at red shirts. So who are we going to red shirt here? So first off, I'm not going to red shirt any of my quarterbacks. None of my running backs look that great to red shirt. Same with the receivers. I definitely know for a fact that my left tackle, Kevin Haywood, I'm going to redshirt him. I'm going to keep him off the field for a year. Keep his eligibility going. Because I believe that, yeah, Jack Nelson is a senior. So next year Haywood would end up taking over for left tackle. So if we do lose out on one of our tackles, it's not a big deal. And even if we win out on our tackles, I can always move them in maybe make one of them um, a guard or a center or whatever we need. But for now, this is what we're looking at. Okay. Uh, he doesn't look that great, honestly. I'm gonna redshirt this end here. I am not gonna redshirt this end. I'm gonna redshirt this left linebacker. None of our middle linebackers look like I want to redshirt them. And yeah, that's going to be all for red shirts, I believe. There's no one really else I really want to red shirt. So, all right. So let us move on to week 0, which is mainly a scouting week. All right, a recruiting week, correction. So this is where I'm going to figure out what I want to do. So I want to emphasize Kism. I feel like Kism could be a guy I want to invest a lot into. I also want to invest in the Mallory as much as I can. Um, we could lose out on Bond. I wouldn't be mad. So we'll just put 25 on the him. Um, Matt Lloyd, I want a receiver, so I'm going to keep doing that. I want to skip the tight end for now. I'm going to put everything into these tackles that I can. Um, we have 18, so 18 times 50 is 900. We have 800 hours, so I do have to keep some of these down. I'm going to emphasize my diamonds a bit more. So we're going to skip around and kind of put max hours on our diamonds, because I do want to recruit these guys as efficiently as possible. I don't want to lose out on my diamonds. Okay, that's all of them. So I'm going to put my diamonds actually at the top. Oops. Okay. Where is that running back? There he is. My diamonds at the top here. I'm going to put 25 on Daly, 25 on Thielen, 25 on Kane. Just going to put 25 on everyone else that I'm not really too gung-ho about. I'm going to sort it out in a way where I have my emphasized ones on the top, and I have my less emphasized ones on the bottom. But we have a lot of time. If I have to settle for some 3 stars over some of these guys, I'm not too sad about it, mainly because, I mean, this is only year 1, so it's not a big deal. Yes, there are some 5 stars here that I'm lowballing for some hours, but I'm not expecting to sign the greatest class in my first year. I just want to bring in the guys I want to bring in. So I want to bring in Monk, Wiggins, Mallory, Forsett, Kism, Lloyd, Baggs, and Hendricks. If I lose out on some of these guys down here, I do. It's all right. I always have lower stars, and I do have the off season to bring in some transfers. But I'm not gonna be too anal about losing out on some of the guys with 25 hours on them. Okay. So now that that's done, I'm going to now look at the depth chart before week 1, and we're going to make some decisions. So Tyler Van Dyke is going to be our starting quarterback. I would not be surprised if I move on from Locke in the offseason and I kind of bring in my own guy. We'll see how that goes, though, later in the year. Um, my running back room this year might be a mess. I do prefer speed over power, so Nate White could make an appearance as the starter. Um, Obviously, we have a bunch of different style running backs. You got Ches Malusi, who is labeled as a elusive back. You have Tawi Walker, who plays like a power back, kind of, but he's also just an elusive back tendency, which is weird because I've played with him a bunch, and he definitely is a bigger back. He's 222, 5'9", like he's big for his height, and he definitely plays like it. Uh, Jackson Acker is definitely a straight up power back. He does have some speed on him, could possibly make him starter, but for now we're gonna go by committee. Um, I am actually not a fan of what happened with Ches Malusi in real life, so personally, I usually just banish him to the Shadow Realm. So I'm not gonna have Ches Malusi at all. Tawi Walker is going to be our starter. I'm gonna put White in as our backup, and Acker is gonna be our power back. So we're gonna have like a 3 running back rotation here. It's not gonna be perfect. I'm gonna mess it up sometimes, but we'll get it figured out. Um, for our receiver room, we have Will Pauling and Bryson Green. However, I do plan on putting C.J. Williams above Bryson Green, and I do plan on putting Vinny Anthony the second above Bryson Green. Um, I value Vinny Anthony as a slot guy. I also value him in the 3 position. Williams probably will stay with us, just assuming he is a deep threat. So we'll see. And Will Pauling is definitely the one. Like there's no doubt. You look at all those physical, mental abilities, and he's not undoubtedly the best receiver in this room. Um, I'm gonna butcher this name, but no, Riley Nowakowski is going to be our starting tight end. He does have some actual decent speed. I've noticed a lot of your tight ends in this game. A lot of them are high 70s. But once you get up to the 80s is when you start getting some decent speed. So he will definitely be a stud at tight end. Um, we're I hate when they do this, but yeah, okay. Jack Nelson will be our starting left tackle. Our left guard will be Joe Bruner. Um, I'm just gonna mess with the depth chart a little bit because they put tackles and guards in positions they shouldn't be. Our right guard is gonna be Huber with Ben Shawal, I believe, and then we have Malman and Barrett Nelson. Are these guys related? They are. Jack Nelson and Barrett Nelson are related. Barrett Nelson are related. Okay. Um, I'm actually might start Will McDonald over Kurt. No, Kurt Neal's got some physical abilities. I gotta put that into account. I was gonna say he's a bit faster. He might be a bit quicker off the line, but Kurt Neal looks like he might be better in the long run. Um, James Thompson Jr. will be our starting right end. Yeah, yeah, definitely. Okay. Ben Barton. Our defensive front is not that great looking at it now, but that's just what we'll have to deal with. Left linebackers are right linebacker. What? I don't like that. Okay. I'm going to switch these guys out because for some reason it's putting my right linebacker where my left linebacker should be, and I'm not a fan of that. Um, we do have some slower linebackers. Could I put the sophomore in? I'm gonna put sophomore in over a senior here. Mainly because he's a bit faster. Yeah, this is a bit better of a tackler. He may lack in play rec a little bit, but I'm gonna put him in and see what he can do. Let's switch our linebackers around now. Wait, do they have 80? PS is an 88 on the left side. I'm going to keep him on the right, just because. And then we have preseason second team All American for the Big Ten, Ricardo Holman as our stud safety, and probably going to be the best player on this team. He has some very good physical abilities and some good mental abilities. He's overall 91. He's definitely going to be the stud of the year. I hope my play style is good for him because I don't want to lose him if he doesn't go out to the draft next offseason. I also have RG Delancey. We got Nizier Forquirin. He's not happy with his playing time, which is fine. We have guys coming in. We have guys coming in. Corners are a bit fickle. All right, Austin Brown is our safety, free safety. Our strong safety is Hunter Worrell, who's mad over playtime. That is crazy. I don't really got to go over that. CJ Williams is going to be our returner, which I am okay with. Long snapper, third down running back. Okay, so this is where things are going to change. Nate White is going to be the 3 down running back. And Acker is already in position to be our power back. Perfect. Vinny Anthony is our slot. Now let's look at our rushers. P.S. Perfect. Peterson. It's the best we got. Yep, okay. And now this is where things get a little fickle. Jack Chaney. Linebacker, sub-linebacker. I'm going to actually switch and put Whirler here. And we'll go with him. And then Quadell McKinney will be our slot. He's a safety, but he will be our slot. So that is your 2024 Wisconsin Badgers.